Welcome to the series of database management system. Today we have already started with chapter number 3, that is SQL. Today we will see what is aggregation or what are aggregate functions. The aggregate functions perform a calculation on a set of values and return a single value. These are generally referred as a summary functions. These functions may include many other functions in it. SQL supports several aggregation operations like sum, count, min, max, average. Except the count function, all the aggregate functions is applied to a single attribute. We will see aggregate functions in detail one by one. Next function which is under the category of aggregation is count. Count function is applied to a duplicate unless otherwise stated. Whenever we want the number of values to be count in the database or in the table, we will be using a function which is a count function. What the count function will do, the count function will return the number of row that matches the specified criteria. You can count the number of rows like without any condition, but you can count the number of rows based on the condition also. So what it will actually return, it will return the number of records, number of row matching the specific criteria, a specific condition. Like for example, if I want to calculate how many number of students are there in the class, so what I can do, instead of just counting each and every record, I can specify a count function with a roll number, because roll number is unique. So I'll be getting a count which is a distinct or actual count. So let's apply or let's see this by using the SQL. So in the last lecture, because we have already created the student table, we'll be using this only. Select star from student. How many number of records I have in the students? I have 3. But what if there are 100 of records and I'll be not able to just see how many number of records are there? So the most appropriate function for counting these students will be a count function. How to use a count function? Use a count function with a specific column. So I'll be using select. What I want to select? I want to select a count. But what I want to count? I want to count a roll number. So I'll be specifying here from table student. So it will give us the count. See here, it is giving me count what? It is giving me a count as 3. But if you want this count of roll number to be replaced with something else or with a good title, you can rename it also. So how we can rename it? Well, write a count of roll number as number of students. So here, instead of count of roll number, I have output in more formatted way. So it is number of students. So this is the way we can use a count. Now next aggregate function which we will see is the function sum. Sum is the function which actually do the total, or it sum up all the values which for which the sum function is applied. Sum function is actually applied to the particular column. So like for example, if I have one column which is a let's take marks column, and if I want to find the total marks of all the students or total mark of these students, particular students, at that time what I can use? I can use a sum function. Sum function just return the sum of all selected column. The number of column which we have selected, it will give us the sum of that. Actually I don't have a specific column over here for which we can apply the sum, but just for the making you understand how it will work, I'll be using sum function with a roll number, just to show you the demonstration that it is actually adding the number of records. So what I can do, I can write select sum, and then I'll be doing roll number from student. Actually it is technically wrong because we cannot sum the roll number, but just for a demonstration I am showing this. So here see, the sum of roll number is become 6. How it becomes 6? Because roll number is 1, 2 and 3. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is become 6. So it is actually doing the summation. It is more appropriately used whenever we want to find the number of purchases, or if we are making the monthly expenses. So at that time we can use this sum function to find the total amount of money that we have spent and the total amount of money that we have earned. This can be used in case of the result generation, where we want to find the sum of the marks of the particular student. At this scenario, the sum function will may be applicable. So what it is doing, it is actually taking the all values from the selected column and it is giving you a sum. So this is a sum function. Next function, which is the aggregate function, is okay, with the sum function actually there are multiple times where we are using the group by. We'll see some example afterwards. Now I will take some more example of aggregate function. We have seen only two functions, that is count and sum. Next function which is in the aggregate function is maximum, then minimum and then average. So we'll see average function. Average, the name itself will give you a hint that this average function, what it will do, it will take the numeric column and it will find the average of the column. Okay, what it will do, it will find the average of the selected column. So let's understand this by using the example. Okay, what is the syntax of writing this? It is select AVG and then here you need to pass a column name. For which column you want to find the average from table name. Okay, we have already seen that the SQL is a language, so it has some syntax that has to be followed. Again, if I see here, number of students, I have 3 students and I just want to find the average of the age of the student. In this case actually it is 15, 15 and 15. So I think average will also come as 15. But let's try this. We'll write select average AVG and I will be applying the average function to the age from student. So let's see what is the average. It is 15. Because 15 plus 15 plus 15 divided by 3 will give you 15 only. Then next function which is comes under the category of aggregate function is maximum and minimum. So the name itself will give you a hint. Maximum function, what it will do, it will take the one particular column and it will find the maximum value from the column and give you the output. And minimum is the opposite of that. Minimum function will give you the smallest value from the selected column. Like for example, if I select the roll number column and if in the roll number I want to find the maximum or the greatest of the roll number, what is the last roll number I have? So for that I'll be using max function, and what it will return, in this particular case it will return 3. So let's see how it will give you the output. So I'll be writing select and then max. In the max I need to pass one column name which is a roll number, in this case from student. And then I want minimum. So just in place of max, write min. We'll write min. So what it will give you? Minimum value, that is 1. So if you want to find the maximum, use max. If you want to find the minimum, use min. So the maximum value of roll number is 3. And the minimum value of roll number is 1. So this is the way we can use the aggregate functions. These aggregate functions, actually I have shown you very simple example, but it will be used in very complicated example also. And with the aggregate function, generally we use the group by clause and having clause that we will see in the next lecture. I hope this is clear to you. If you find any difficulty, you can write in the comment box. Thank you.